the Vietnam Tribute, Hill 881 South.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Alan Hemberger, and I am a combat veteran of Vietnam, and as such, it is certainly my pleasure to be a small part of this program today as we unveil the San Antonio Vietnam Veterans Memorial. This is a memorial not just to those comrades who fell in Vietnam, almost 56,000 of them, but also to the men and the women who served. And to start this presentation, of course, we have the flyover of the F-16. Joining me on this broadcast to add a little bit of color and to give you a little bit of background of this is General Andrew Osway, who just up until a couple of months ago was the commanding general of Randolph Air Force Base. General, thanks you very much for all that you have done to bring this about and for joining us this afternoon.
Well, thank you, Alan. Certainly a pleasure for me to be here, and I want to thank you for airing this very exciting day. We've worked hard on it, and it's finally come to fruition.
Let me ask the General Osway right now a little bit about what it took to get this into a reality, to make it become a reality.
Alan, this project started quite some time ago when John Baines was appointed the national co-chairman for the Vietnam Veteran Leadership Program. And he was inspired by that and thought that we should have a memorial here in San Antonio. Why not? San Antonio is often referred to as Military City, USA, with 5 major installations and some 60,000 Vietnam veterans here in the community.
Let's go to the podium right now. I believe we have the mayor, if I'm not mistaken, up at the podium right now. Let's listen to the mayor.
It takes on a special significance. This physical place with its new architecture, the new gathering of stones and grasses, will be as sacred a place as Alamo Plaza has been traditionally.
This memorial that will be unveiled very shortly depicts a very real battle that happened in South Vietnam. It has now been 11 years since that war ended for America. And as our Roy Lieutenant tells us right now, many veterans are still finding it hard to cope with society.
The boys will shout, the ladies, they will all turn out. We'll all be in the occasion, shouting the marching home.
Their arrival at the Alamo was emotional for participants and onlookers as well.
We had a closeness in Nam that was created by a need for survival, and I think that's appropriate here.
For the first time, some Vietnam veterans remembered who they were.
What the Journey to Remember did, and the rally and everything, was to allow them to release a lot of emotions and feelings about the war.
And those emotions continue. Divorce rates among Vietnam vets are high, and even now, over a decade after the war, many continue to find it hard to cope. There's also the effects of Agent Orange that are still under study. And there's the controversy of the 2,425 MIAs and POWs who are still unaccounted for. Never was there a more unpopular war. While young men and women died by the thousands, back home another war was being waged in the streets. Yet most who were called honored their commitment to their country. One such man is Vietnam vet John Baines. This sculpture inspired him to make it the foundation of a memorial to Vietnam veterans and commissioned its creator, combat artist Austin Duell, for the job. The Vietnam combat soldiers spent a lot of time looking up, waiting for a helicopter. And as the sun goes down in Scottsdale, Arizona, the home of its creation, the image of Don Hosick sits frozen in time, waiting to touch the conscience of a nation. In Scottsdale, Roy Rutanen, News 4, San Antonio.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the creator of Hill 881 South, San Antonio's Vietnam Veterans Memorial, Mr. Austin Duell. Stand up, Austin. Austin himself, a Vietnam veteran, was a combat artist in the Marine Corps. This is for each and every one of us. A salute to the entire community, a salute to all of us. Hill 881 South.
There you have the unveiling of Hill 881 South, our Vietnam Veterans Memorial in San Antonio. What you're seeing is RTO up there, who was over a fallen comrade, and he is looking skyward to what we used to call dust-offs, which is the military helicopters, the evacuation helicopters that would come in. Very interesting, General Osway, that you mentioned that the sergeant who was leading the detachment of the unveiling is stationed here at Lackland Air Force Base. He's a member of the Marine Corps, and he was actually there. Is that right?
He was there. That's correct. Yes, he is the head of the detachment at Lackland, but he did serve on Hill 881, and the radio man is here also.
Okay, right now, let's, as I told you before the ceremony began, I had an opportunity to speak with General William Westmoreland. Let's go to that interview right now. General, speak to the emotions of this day, if you would, first of all. The emotions that you feel on a special day like this.
Well, I think that all of us who served in Southeast Asia have pangs of emotion on an occasion like this. We just attended a very beautiful service here in the local Episcopal Church, participated in by ministers from many faiths and many factions of Christianity. And as they prayed and as they sang and as I looked around and saw old friends and men in uniform, particularly the Vietnam veterans, it's impossible to keep it from emotionally affecting you. I mean, I get tears in my eyes. Many of us didn't think this day would ever arrive. With a Vietnam veteran who fought an unpopular war and did well, no soldier could have done, or Marine, or Air Force, or Navy man could have done any better than those young Americans did. And they were much younger than we'd ever sent to the battlefield before. The average age was under 19. I am proud of those men, and I have not concealed that emotion. And on an occasion like this, I'm not only not concealing it, I'm bragging about their performance as we pay homage and respect those that gave their lives for a worthy cause.
General William Westmoreland, right now for General Osway and for everyone else who has been a part of this very special broadcast, thank you for joining us, everyone, and remember, you're a Vietnam veteran.
It's been an irrational and a sordid period in the history of America.